Hello, this is Cathy Cassidy. I'm going to read you chapter 5 of my book Scarlett today, and I've come out into the garden to do it because it's so sunny and beautiful. However, that also means that I'm going to be squinting at you all the way through, so please forgive me for that. I wanted to do a couple more shout outs today, and this time it's to readers who have been posting on the Dreamcatcher reader blog, because during the last 7-8 weeks of lockdown, I decided that I would use the Dreamcatcher reader blog as kind of turn it into a place for my readers to go to get reassurance, to get ideas for things to do, to keep them busy. Also a place to share feelings and experiences. So there's been the most amazing blogs over the last few weeks, and if you haven't seen it yet, please do check it out. If you go to my Facebook fan page, you'll find links every day or two through to the Dreamcatcher blog. And also you can click to it directly from my website cathycassidy.com. But the shout outs anyway, a lot of readers in the UK and also readers all around the world, because we are in the middle of a global pandemic, and it's meant a lot to me that my readers in other countries have taken part and shared their experiences of what it's actually like for them. So a big thank you to Angel in Thailand, to Janelle in Dubai, Anushka in India, Amanda in France, to Heloise as well in France, to Nicole and Emma and Hannah, to Nell, Katie, Adele, Jenny, Honor, Cassie, Ella Rose, Maya in Scotland, to Deborah in Czech Republic, to Marty and Zarin and Blahin. And I think there are probably more, so please forgive me if I've skipped somebody or missed somebody out. But yeah, there will be more blogs coming all the time. And if you want to get involved in writing for the Dreamcatcher blog and have something that you think you'd like to share with other readers, just send me an email. You can click the email Cathy link that's on my website cathycassidy.com and get to me that way. Or just join onto the Facebook fan page and message me there. So here we go with chapter 5, and Scarlett has just landed in Ireland, and she's driving back with her dad. But chapter 5 is kind of a bit of a flashback for her. She's thinking of the past. So here we go. Think of a girl, a skinny, grinny 10-year-old girl with curly brown hair and freckles and the kind of giggle you can hear a mile away. That was me. I was pretty, I was popular, I worked hard at school. Yes, me, seriously. I was pretty much your typical middle-class, overachieving London kid with classes every night of the week, from karate to keyboards to drama to ballet. I lived in a 3-bedroom house in Islington with Mum and Dad, and I dreamt of having my own pony, shiny black with a white blaze on its forehead. I planned to turn the garage into a stable, turn the backyard over to grass. I was going to call my pony Star and braid its mane with ribbons and feed it hay that smelt of summer and happiness. Together we would win horse shows and races and cross-country trials, collecting rosettes and trophies. One day, Scarlett, Dad used to say, when we live in the country, just imagine it. There'll be chickens, a veggie patch, room for a pony. Don't encourage her, Mum would snap. We're not moving anywhere. You can't have a pony in central London, Scarlett. How about a hamster? In the end, I got 2 rabbits, Coco and Fudge, who lived in a hutch in the garden. Mum worked late most nights even then, but Dad was self-employed, so that didn't matter. He ran a web design business working from home, so he was always around to pick me up from school, to take me to classes, heat up frozen pizza if my mates came round for a sleepover, and pretend not to notice if we stayed up past midnight eating ice cream in bed. He was a cool dad. Embarrassing, sure, but cool. I didn't mind the Morris Traveller back then, not even when Dad called it Woody in front of my mates and pretended it was farting every time the engine backfired. I didn't mind when we went to eat out and he sat at the dinner table balancing a spoon on the end of his nose. Not even that time it fell off into his soup and splashed his shirt with cream of tomato and basil. So what? I was just about the luckiest girl alive, and I didn't even know it. Dad moved out just after my 10th birthday. He'd met someone else, he said, An Irish woman called Claire who made handmade soaps out of herbs and spices and bits of grated lemon rind. Eye of newt and mouldy fingernail clippings more like. If ever there was a witch, it had to be Claire. Claire wanted a website to help sell her stuff. It shouldn't have been a big job, but she needed help to photograph the stuff, to help write the captions, help choose the artwork and lettering. I hope she's paying for all this extra work, Mum sniffed after Dad spent a whole Saturday styling and photographing a bunch of speckled soaps that looked like they were made of cooking fat and boiled up twigs. She's taking advantage of you. Dad just laughed and said that Claire was a nice woman and she deserved a bit of help. Why can't she help herself? Mum had snapped. I thought Mum was being a bit mean, but that's exactly what Claire did. She helped herself to my dad. I thought, it's not that I don't love you anymore, Dad said to me before he left. I do. I always will, Scarlett. It's just that things aren't working out with your mum, and they haven't been for a while. I tried to believe him even as I watched him pack. Can't you try a bit harder then? I wanted to know. It might just be a bad patch. Jill's parents had one of those and they're all right. You just have to bring home flowers and chocolates and hold Mum's hand a bit more. Scarlett, love, it's too late for all that, he said. Well, you don't have to leave, I argued. You could still live here, couldn't you? We're your family. You should be here with us. Tell that stupid Claire woman to go away. Like that was ever going to happen. Scarlett, love, I can't, he told me. I don't want to. I'm sorry. Sorry? That didn't really cut it for me. He moved out of our house and into Claire's, and Mum and I were history. I got to see him every Sunday, and we'd trudge around the British Museum or sit in McDonald's picking at our Happy Meals and wondering how it got to this. Claire's nice, he told me one week. You'd like her. Why not come over next week, get to know her a bit? She's a witch, I huffed. I hate her. Scarlett, you don't even know her. He sighed. Give her a chance. She's a good woman. She has a little girl, Holly. She's 7. Nice kid. I'm sure you'd get on. A little girl? My world crumbled. I cried so hard when he dropped me home that night that Mum said we should cut the meetings to every other week. It was too upsetting, too disruptive. Pretty soon, we were down to once a month. It doesn't have to be the end of the world when your parents split up, I know, but it was for me. It felt like my whole life was sliding away from me. I didn't go to karate and keyboards and drama and ballet anymore because Dad wasn't there to take me. I stopped dreaming of ponies and I went to after-school club till Mum finished work and could pick me up. There were no more sleepovers, no more embarrassing moments with farting cars or spoons balanced on noses. I sat in my room and watched the grass grow on the lawn, the weeds sprout through the cracks in the garden path. When Mum told me we were selling the house so she and Dad could split the profits, I didn't even care. I cleared away 4 bin bags of old clothes and toys, books about ponies, bits and pieces of my childhood. Dad called round late one night and loaded them up in the Morris Traveller to take to the charity shop. Mum made me give cocoa and fudge to the kids next door because you can't keep rabbits in a flat, and I still wonder if those kids remember that Coco hates apples or that Fudge loves it when you scratch her behind her ears. Probably not. We packed up our stuff and moved to the flat, and then the divorce came through and Dad and Claire got married in a registry office in Camden. Soon after, they all moved to Ireland to some dump called Killimore in Connemara where Claire grew up, and the very last shreds of hope died inside of me. That was that. It wasn't enough just to leave us, replace us. He had to move 1,000,000 miles away and put the Irish Sea between us. Well, fine. If he wanted to act like we didn't exist anymore, I could do the same. I stopped answering his emails, stopped taking his calls. I threw his cards and letters into the bin. I wiped him out of my life the way he'd wiped us out of his. I didn't need him. Not even when I got into trouble at school, not even when Mum packed me off to Nan's in Milton Keynes for the very first fresh start. Not even when Nan said she couldn't cope and sent me to Uncle John's, or when he said I was a spoilt little brat with violent tendencies and packed me off back to Mum. Families, hey? Don't you just love 'em? My dad pulled my life to bits and trampled all over it with his size 10 boots. I need him like I need a hole in the head, or maybe even less. So that was chapter 5. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are planning to tune in tomorrow and find out what happens next, because Scarlett is going to meet Claire and Holly for the first time, and that might not go very well. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. It's been nice sitting out in the sunshine, even if I am a bit squinty about it, and my dog Ziggy has been circling around the whole time, taking sticks from the fire pit to chew, so if you've heard any strange noises in the background, that's exactly what it's been. But thanks so much for being with me again. Don't forget to leave a comment on the blog, because it makes me feel like I'm not really alone, and thank you all just for being there. It helps me to be reading these chapters, and I hope it helps you to listen. Take care, see you soon.